Um, the things that stand out about him just in general are, obviously his length and his athleticism. But two things that I did not know about him was one, his work habits and his commitment to improvement, which we see every day, and then just his care factor. Being around him every day, you see how much he cares about winning, and you saw from afar his effort defensively and how his shot improved and his willingness to make some of those hustle plays. But being around him every day, you start to understand why he's made these improvements as a player each year, and you see the care factor that he has, in terms of winning and being a great teammate and playing the right way.
Jace, who is from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Jace, go ahead.
Jace, Pioneer Press.
Hey, Sean. I know you talked pre-game about just trying to carry on business as usual as much as possible, but is there any part of you that, I don't know, maybe just feels a little bit more special tonight, just given the seat you were in and the result you got?
The result was great, and I'm obviously thrilled for the guys, and happy didn't screw it up with Coach not being here more than anything. But I just thought the guys did a great job, and the way they played. JB having 10 assists, Timmy coming off the bench. I think Tim did an excellent job. Obviously, he shot it well from three, but the way he passed the ball and played drive and kick offense, got into the blender, I thought was great. And then the guys off the bench, just in general, I thought everybody tried to execute and play the right way. And more than anything, just happy that we did what we set out to accomplish, and now get ready to go tomorrow and then get ready for Chicago.
All right, Brad.
Yeah, Tim. 5 straight wins. Despite all this adversity, what do you think that this adversity is doing with you guys?
I think it starts with the head coach, Jason Kidd. He's been preaching to us to play the right way, and preaching to us to share the ball, move the ball, get stops, run, play with energy, and go out there and compete on both ends of the floor. We always talk about diligence and accountability and making sure we go out there and have fun. So we just wanted to make sure that coming in tonight, even though we didn't have him, we wanted to step up and go out there and play hard.
What was going through your mind when you found out, he was the latest person in the organization to get it? It just seems like a never-ending run of it.
Yeah, our team alone, and has caught the worst of it, I would say, more so than a lot of teams in the league. But Coach Kidd always says next man up. So Coach Sweeney came in, had a great game plan. The coaching staff had a great game plan coming into tonight. We stuck with it, knocked down our shots, played with pace, moved the ball, got stops, and it resulted into a win.
All right, Luke.
Tim, you guys had 34 assists tonight, well above your season average as a team. So obviously the ball movement was really good as a whole, but one play in particular, late in the third quarter, the team passing the ball around quickly, it resulted in you penetrating and throwing that lob to Marquise, which ended up being one of the more exciting emotional plays of the game. Could you talk about the ball movement tonight, how important that was to you guys, and if you remember that play specifically, maybe walk me through how you remember it going down?
Yeah, I remember the play. I think Frank or whoever was in the game was going left, and someone set kind of like a flare screen for me to go to the corner. I caught it. I saw someone come out, run me off, rip through, and I think Keith dived down from the wing. I think it was Keith. I think he set the flare screen, and then their guy was fighting over the top. His man had to help. I drove, the weak side came to help, and the guy that was guarding me initially didn't switch on the keys on when he was rolling. So I just saw him rolling down, and playing against him previous years, the guy got hops. So I just threw it up there and let him go get it. It was very exciting for me just because the ball finds energy. And the coaching staff has been preaching that for the longest. And when you're doing that and moving around the ball and having fun, playing with pace, like like I said, the ball will find the energy, and keeps going hard to the basket. Just throw it up there and let him go get it.
Eddie?
And Josh has been getting lots of or more opportunities lately, and you know, obviously a career night tonight. How tough is it for a guy that's been on the fringe like he has, and then you know all of a sudden you're kind of being relied on to be a important rotation player, and you know it's not an easy thing to just making that leap is not always the easiest thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but Josh went ahead and made his opportunity worthwhile. He works his tail off every single day when he gets into the gym, takes care of his body. He gives all our energy, great locker room guy, and he deserves the opportunity. And it showed when
You found out no Jason Kidd. What do you think that this adversity has done to you guys?
I think it's made us come together a little more. We've had no choice but to, but I think really no matter who's out there coaching or playing, we kind of created this chemistry to play a certain way. So Sean did a great job of stepping up tonight, but like I said, this next man up mentality, and that's from the players and the coaches, and you got to keep that mentality up. And we want everybody back and healthy, but we're just gonna keep going.
Josh, tonight's another example of you getting another opportunity, making the most of it. What is the biggest growth you think you've kind of seen in yourself these last couple of weeks?
I think just being able to see minutes and be able to develop and be able to learn from my mistakes, having older guys be able to help me and just navigate around my mistakes and make sure that I come back next game and just do as well as I can and just work as hard as I can, whether it's I don't need to score. I feel like to try to impact the team, so my whole goal is just coming out and playing as hard as I can and get the ball moving. So yeah.
Okay. Jalen, I saw you guys doused Sweeney in the locker room. Basically explain why you guys did that.
First one.
Yeah.
First head coaching one. Big moment.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Explain.
It's a big moment for him. He's going to downplay it. That's how Sean is. But we were really excited for him. Like the opportunity that he had, he stepped to the plate and made sure that we were ready. And he did his job, and just kind of congratulate him for it. He deserved it.
All right, we have. Oh, go ahead.
So, Jalen, the Rockets have a very young team. What type of advice could you offer those young guards in Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green?
Am I that old already? Am I that old already?
You're just a veteran and they're still learning.
They're great. They have so much talent, so much game ahead of them going forward. I guess really the only advice I would give them is just keep fighting, keep going. Things are going to get better as long as you keep putting the work in, keep having confidence in yourself, which they do. They have tremendous confidence in themselves, but they'll be fine. The talent they have will never go unnoticed, and they're gonna be fine.
Landon.
Hey Jalen, we heard Josh talk about his growth, but I want to ask you, as he gets at a career high tonight in scoring, talk about his growth and what you have seen from him this season.
I've seen a lot from him. He's done amazing things, and I think, like he said, there's a little bit more opportunity of him going out there and playing. He's been able to showcase that. This dude works, man. He works hard. He believes in himself. Us as teammates, we believe in him. He deserves all that. The confidence that he gets is from his work ethic. So, I mean, for him to have a performance like he did tonight, I mean, I'm not really shocked. And us as teams, we're not really shocked at all, but we're excited for him, and he'll continue to grow and get better.
Ian?
Yeah, Jalen. Tim talked about accountability really taking hold in the last 5 games. And so from your vantage point as a point guard on this team, how important is that accountability and trust between you guys to really help you guys play better defensively and offensively on this offense?
Yeah, we're holding each other accountable because that's the only way we're going to get better. We have a lot of guys on this team that can do a lot of amazing things on the court, but there's going to be times where each and every one of us makes mistakes. But it's how we grow from it, it's how we hold each other accountable, it's how we get better. I think with us and the person that we have on this team, we have a lot of guys who enjoy playing this game, but at the same time, they're still learning it better. So with that being said, we're going to continue to grow, continue to hold each other accountable. It's kind of building off our chemistry, and the guys we have in this locker room are willing to do those things.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like you said, Josh Green, career high night. Every batch got career high. Every batch.